Good morning. I'm Dave Fankhauser. I hope you are doing okay today. Well, today is about love opens all hearts. 24 years ago, we came to Etowah and then to Tellico Plains. And our reason for coming here was we were looking for a place in the mountains. We had a reason to set up here for ministry. When we were dreaming about our place in the future, the one thought that we had that was above all, besides the beauty of the community and the mountains, was the people loved one another. Well, the day we drove into Tellico Plains, we met Mike Hannon, a realtor. So he took us around to visit different properties, and then at lunchtime, we went to the Telecafe, and Mike had someone yell across the hall, or all across the restaurant, "Hey Mike, how much does Miss Smith want for her property?" So Mike got on the phone, called, and then yelled back across the room where everybody could hear, "She wants $95,000. Well, I just about cried. Finally, we had found a place where we felt that people loved one another, they cared for one another, they could even know each other's business, and that was okay, because they were all one. We thought that was really important. So we bought land that day. I cry today to think about how fortunate we are to have been led here to this community and to be a part of it now for these last 23 years. The Lord has more in mind than we could have ever imagined, though, because it wasn't just Sandy and me that moved here. It was 3 generations of our family. We came literally as pioneers for us to be in a brand new area and to start our lives all over again. You can see this wagon behind me. It's a little chuck wagon, but nonetheless, it represents sort of our pioneer effort to come here and to help make a life for not only ourselves, but for others in East Tennessee. We also came with an 18-wheeler, a big semi-truck. We'd been doing ministry in ghettos in Central Florida for years, and then we were invited to do events on Daytona Beach for college spring breakers and also city events around Central Florida. And we were doing ministry, evangelical ministry. And we came to East Tennessee because we needed to be centrally located to go to the NASCAR tracks to set up and do evangelical concerts on Friday and Saturday night, and then also do chapel services on Sunday morning. So we were seeing miracles in the ghettos. Every time we went out, we saw these incredible things happen with the children and with the adults, things where they would find homes, they would find jobs, they would have discipline put back into their lives, they would get to church, they would have all these incredible things happen just by going to the inner cities. So we had a lot of experience trying to love on people, and in return, God provided that love through us. So when we came here, we were to set up and also go out to all of these racetracks, and we thought that God would do miracles there too, and that's exactly what happened. We went to Talladega once and set up, and right as we were setting up the semi, a lady was standing there with a wedding veil on, looking at us and looking at the truck. As it turned out, when I walked over to ask her why she was staring so intently, she said, well, she and her fiance were planning on to get married at that very spot where we had the truck set up. And I said, well, would you like to get married on the stage? And she said, would you do that? And I said, sure. So we had the wedding later that day, and I found out her story, that Gloria was a nurse, and her fiance, Bobby, was dying of 3 different types of cancers. And she was marrying him to be his caretaker to his death. Well, I asked them if they would come back that evening when we did our concert, and she said they would. So when they got there to the stage, I had them come up, and then I asked all the fans there, the race fans, if they would mind praying with us for Gloria and Bobby, and they did. 2 weeks later, we received a letter from Gloria that all of Bobby's cancers were in remission. Isn't that incredible? Well, we had those miracles in the ghettos, we had miracles at the racetracks, and we've had miracles here too. We had our painter fall off the ladder at our real estate office recently. The ladder tumbled down underneath him, he fell on it, and then the ladder went onto the ground, and he was laying there, and when the EMTs got to the site, they thought he had a broken neck and also a broken jaw. So his wife and I got on either side of him before he left to the UT Medical Center, and we prayed for him, and on the way, God did a miracle healing in him. When he was tested, he was found out to have a broken rib and also a bunged up left elbow, and otherwise he was fine. Then we had another big miracle happen, which was just amazing. We had one of our tradesmen shot in the head. I found out about it and called his mother and asked if it would be possible to go to the hospital to pray for him to see what we could do. We knew what Satan wanted, and what Satan wanted was to kill him or have him permanently crippled. And we knew what God wanted, and that was for his restoration and his healing. So she made arrangements for us to go into the lockdown ICU unit and pray, and we did. I stood on one side of the bed and she stood on the other. And then as he was in a coma, and in 2 weeks, he was out of a coma, and then shortly thereafter, he started to move his foot, and then his leg, and within a couple of months, he was walking out of the wheelchair, off of crutches, off of canes, and walking. Today, he's back as if he had never, ever had an accident like that in his life, and what's so amazing is the bullet is still lodged in his head. So God was providing miracles not only in the ghettos, he was providing them at the racetracks, and he is also providing them here. Well, I think it's also time that we have an economic miracle, not just for our area, but I think we can start it here, but for all of America. We are printing so much money that it's devaluing soon the dollar. We will be in such big debt in this nation that it will be very difficult to recover. How can we change that? In a small way, that 1 or 2 or 3 or 50,000 of us can decide that we will change the way money is handled. By getting money back in our hands and away from Wall Street, Washington, and big government, we can start making our own investments for small businesses that want to set up here, for people that want to buy homes. I am not suggesting that our local banks aren't doing a good job. We just need to have more of that money available that's here in the hands of the local people, and for them to get the profits from the funds that are lent to others. I know we can do this. I call it democracy and money. I think it's the one thing that the Pilgrims didn't even know how to address because they didn't face that. They made so many correct decisions about how we could have God in a nation, how we would have voting, how we would have capitalism, how we would have rights for humans of all equal. But one thing that wasn't addressed was how could we make money into a democratic principle as well. So that's the reason I'm running. I would really appreciate it if you think that I'm on the right track. You send this video off to all of your friends in the area for them to look at us and what we're attempting to do. I believe we can make a big difference, and we can change not only our community, but be the one that starts the future for the rest of America. Let's get democracy and money back in our hands to grow money locally so we don't have to go get grants. We actually know what we need to do, and we can make it happen. I thank you so much for watching and listening. I look forward to meeting you someday. I'm running for the 23rd District of the state legislature, all of McMinn and part of Monroe, and I want you to have a great day. Thank you. Talk to you soon.